On today's episode of PJ and the Beard, we're going to take a look at a guitar. But before we get into that, I'd like to ask you to consider subscribing to the channel, clicking on the notification bell. Your interaction with us helps us interact with great people in the industry. And in this case, we went to our friends at Zzounds again, and we were able to get in the Epiphone 335, or if you're across the pond, 335. So we have it in here tonight to take a look at. And the Beard's going to tell you a little bit about how we're going to approach this guitar and maybe a little bit more.
Yes, I mean, one of the beautiful things about working with Zzounds is we've been able to, like, here's what they want, here's what we want, no questions asked. If they have it, they kind of send it to us. So a while back, we got the idea, like, let's find 3 HHS Strats as we, we're just kind of curious, get those in. They sent us all 3 at one time. Cool. So now we had the ability to kind of go through each one, compare them, and we really enjoyed it. So when we sent them back, we were like, what can we do
what
now?
else can we do, right?
So we're embarking on a new kind of mini series on this with 335 style guitars, looking at the Epiphone first, and then we also are going to have an Ibanez and a Sire, and priced within $1.
Yeah, one of them is literally $1 apart. One is like $5 apart.
So I don't even know if it's yeah, you're right.
$705, $699.99, and $699.
Yeah, so pretty close. So. We're really kind of interested to dive into this and see what a $700 335 style guitar sounds like. And we thought, well, let's kick this off with Epiphone. We've had tons of, help me out, Pat, tons of Epiphones. We've had the Junior, the Firebird,
the Greenie,
Sheraton 2, which is also a hollow body, a Special, my 339. So we've had a lot of the newer Epiphones go through, and they've been great.
They have been.
They've been great. So real interested to check this out. Nice looking guitar. We don't do the geeky stuff, but we kind of start with what do we like? And I think I'll start. I'm going to steal it. Finish.
Yeah.
What is that called? A maple.
That's the AAA maple veneer.
On the back and on the front. Binding on both sides. Binding on the neck. Kind of the book matched headstock. So I think the looks of this super on point. One thing I don't like is the pick guard. I would take the pick guard off any 335, like any Les Paul Gibson guitar. But it's not ours, so we gotta leave it on. I believe it comes, they say, CTS pots in the spec sheet. And so the only thing I changed on my 339 was the pots. I took out and put in CTS pots in that. So, other than that, it just feels nice. Has nice cheese-shaped necks. Yeah. There's no split in the coils. There's not a lot of bells and whistles on it. But those things are really the ones that have jumped out at me. Playability is really nice. On this one, straight out of the box, if we were going to keep it, I'd probably want to lower the action just a little bit. Yeah. So I'm going to say to anybody like, oh, it came perfect. It came really good. It's really playable. It stayed in tune the night.
Yeah, it did.
But the thing that I might change is that action. Frets.
I forgot my nylons.
There might be a little mark in the nylons. Maybe not perfect, but they feel really nice. Yeah. They feel really nice. What do you like?
It was comfortable. I mean, even weight-wise, because it's got a center block, but again, I don't want to reiterate the obvious, but the look of this guitar is fantastic. The shape of the neck, he mentioned that earlier. It is comfortable to play, despite the action being a little bit high. Very playable, very accessible in the upper frets. Pickups, I feel like I probably liked the neck maybe a little bit better than the bridge, depending on what we were playing. But as we'll go through, you'll see we'll throw a bunch of pedals at it, and you can get an idea of what the pickups sound like. I guess speaking of that, we'll just jump right into
What do the pickups sound like?
these are the pickups from the bridge to the middle to the neck. All right, so the first clip, taking it for a spin, I wanted to play the Keeley Blues Disorder. It's from their 4-in-1 series. I still believe it is the probably most popular, maybe best-selling, and every time I plug it in, I understand why. I always use it on the hybrid. I have it in the OC tone and in the BB side on the drive. I think I had that in both pickups, I believe, when I played this, and I played that.
Whenever we do a guitar, we like to grab some pedals that just, but sit on the shelf that need some attention, like Pat grabbed the Blues Disorder. I wanted to grab one from a series, so I was thinking Leslie series, but then I saw this guy sitting up there and I thought, man, he needs some attention. This is the Microvet, it works only on small animals. This is the Microvet 16. All right, so this is a rotary speaker emulator, but does not have that top rotor on it. So this would be very similar to like what Stevie Ray Vaughan's like Vibratone, not Vibratone, but he used like a Fender or a Leslie cabinet that didn't have. Anyway, here's what it sounds like.
Okay, well, it was my turn again, and staying in modulation world. I went to a chorus. We keep saying we have a fledgling chorus series. We've done a few pedals. I don't know if we officially have a bumper and a graphic yet, but it's coming. But in that idea, in our shipment from Zzounds, we wanted to try out the Warm Audio WAC1 chorus, and it is a great sounding, and it is a sturdy piece of kit over here. And I just played it in a straight chorus side. I played the star of the show in the middle through one pass, and in the neck in another pass. I played with my fingers, tried to play like a little bebop-y jazz thing because it is a hollow body guitar. There we go.
Whenever we're trying out a new guitar, we like to do a little jam. This first jam, I was playing the 335 Epiphone, and I had that plugged into a very old, this is version 1 of the direct drive. Those of you that remember when that article came out about the $99 hand-built direct drives in Guitar Player magazine, this actually might predate that a little bit, because the one I bought right after that article was a little bit different. Who cares? You don't care. But pretty cool. Barber Electronics history through the Echo Tour into the Tyler. You backed me up.
Figured, hey, we're doing Epiphones. Let's grab the 339, and I played it through the Fender Hot Rod behind me with just reverb.
So I gotta admit, my favorite sounds tonight out of that guitar were probably during that jam with the Barber on it, with things pushed a little bit. The way it reacted to having drive on it, I really liked. Earlier, I tried to clean it up a little bit and play the same thing that I play when I back you up in your jam later in the episode. But I wanted to get it a little cleaner and spankier. So I was like, well, do we have a pedal that would kind of clean it up and tighten it up. So you'll hear me play one pass with just the guitar into the amp. And then on the second pass, I'm going to kick on this. This is the MP, the missing piece from FXX Pedals. And I'm not really sure how to explain this pedal. It's somewhere, it has a pre and a post. It's somewhere between a boost and a compressor a little bit.
It's got a little compressor vibe to it.
Yeah. But I thought it was pretty cool. So here's that clip.
For my last clip, I wanted to do tremolo because I was the one that wanted the tremolo series, and I usually like the very clean, pulsy tremolo. And we went a different direction. We grabbed the Revival Drive from Origin Effects off the shelf. I think I started out in the bridge on the guitar, and so you could hear it would drive. You could hear that tremolo come from behind there. And then I tried to flip it to the neck, do a single note thing with the low end, play some single notes, get back to the chords. I think the guitar reacted really well. What do you think?
Can I add one thing?
You can.
Listen to how, because that's what this pedal does so well, how when he hits the chord hard, you don't hear the tremolo. Mm-hmm. But then just like a real amp, like the amp that's based on, as that chord starts to die, you hear the tremolo swell underneath. It's so cool.
Very cool. All right, before we get to our final thoughts, we like to do a jam, and we like to set that jam up first because it comes after the thoughts. So I had the star of the show. I went to the Noble Screamer, another one in the Keeley 4-in-1 series. I'm a big Tube Screamer fan. I never realized it, but I also am a big fan of ODR, and so I can get both of them in here. So I dialed that up for the lead sound, and I played the Echo Tour through the Tyler.
All right, and then just backing them up straight into the hot rod that we have back from the shop on the PRS SE DGT. Do have to point out that these have been swapped for Porter pickups, and man, I'm really loving the front pickup on this, the neck pickup on this with it split. I think it sounds really great. Every time we do something like this, I really like the tone it gets. So check that out. Listen for that. It's worth a listen. Final thoughts.
Some of them are going to sound a little bit like the beginning, and I'm going to steal some of them back. I mean, final thoughts. It is a great looking guitar, and I think it's going to show up that way on camera as well. Like we said, the fit and finish was good. I wasn't sure about the pickups, and depending on what pedal I was using, I liked some of them more than others. The bridge pickup, clean, not so much. You throw some drive on that bridge pickup, I think it responds really nice. Mm-hmm. I think the neck can be kind of warm, maybe a little loose at times, but that's why I like the middle. I get the best of both worlds on some of the things, but then I want that neck. I switch to that neck during a solo. So I think it gives you kind of all the ideas that you'd want from a 335. It can be warm, it can resonate, it can be a jazz box-ish kind of thing. It is a lot of guitar for $699. I'm glad we got it in.
Yeah, for me, I got to go to the jam. I don't know if I picked weird pedals tonight. Obviously none of those pedals are weird, but pedals that maybe I'm not as familiar with tonight. So that I was struggling sometimes to get a sound that I really was like, yeah, that's the one. And which is kind of why I went with the missing piece at one point, because I had that clean sound out of it, but I wanted to I just didn't have the clean tone I wanted. I wanted to kind of boost something, and I wanted to see if I could get it with a pedal. Then we get to the jam, and that's where I want to focus. Once I turned the direct drive on, it's like it all came together for me. And now, remember, this is like home base, so I'm not picking like a weird pedal. This is a pedal that I use live every week, that I've used live for
20-ish years or more.
If you have that Guitar Player magazine, you know how long, right? So roll the volume back. It cleans up. I like the way it reacted with the pedal and the amp with the volume back a little bit. Roll the volume up. Liked it. Switching the pickups. All of a sudden, and I even like, if you listen carefully, there's a few times where it starts to grab the feedback and starts to run away, because I'm like kind of this mindset. If you have a 335, if you have a hollow body, one of the things you want from a hollow body is for it to run away. Like, I want it to do that. Right. Like, I don't want it to, like, at the appropriate time. Right. But at the appropriate time, grabbing it and hold it, you want it to kind of take off and run. So I thought it did that really nice. On the jam, I felt real comfortable with the guitar. Even going up and playing up high, with the action just a little higher than maybe I would normally like it. But even getting up on the high frets, I thought it was really comfortable to play. And yeah, that's it.
Pretty on the back too.
So with that, hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for clicking the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, clicking like button. Anytime you interact with the channel, that's what helps us interact with cool companies like Zzounds, which allowed us to get in 3 kind of, I think, what are going to be really cool guitars to go through, and hopefully you'll stick around and check that out. So with that,
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding you, no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear.